Hello and welcome to another tier list video from the Nerd Lair. And today we're going to be ranking all 11 Star Trek TV shows. So as you can see above me, I have all of the Star Trek TV shows that have ever been produced, starting from the original series all the way until 2021 with Star Trek Prodigy. Let's get this ranking underway. I can't wait to ignore all of the hateful, hurtful comments that I'm going to receive after I did my last Legend of Zelda tier list. Wow. Okay, so we're just gonna get one out of the way real quick with Deep Space Nine because I don't have a whole lot to say about it. As far as old Trek goes, it's not my favorite. It's got great characters, it's got a really cool setting, which is not on a starship, it's on Deep Space Nine, which is a space station in deep space. Yeah, it felt kind of like a soap opera, which, you know, a lot of people really like that. There's a lot of drama in it. The characters are really developed well, and there's some interesting characters, but it's just not my favorite. It's a little bit more dour for my taste when it comes to Star Trek, so I'm going to put that at a C. I apologize. No, I don't. Next, we're going to do good old Star Trek Discovery, and this show started out okay. It's not good. A lot of people, you know, really like it, and that's totally fine. I don't really consider myself a Star Trek gatekeeper by any means, but this show doesn't really suit my Star Trek needs at all. The characters are really, really pretentious. I don't like the main character, Michael Burnham or whatever her name is. It's not for me. A lot of people like it though, and that's totally fine. Star Trek is subjective, and that's what makes it great. So I'm gonna put this at a. I almost won't feel like putting it at a C, but I don't. I like it less than I like Deep Space Nine, so I'm gonna put it at a D. And granted, all of these shows, I mean, come on guys, you know I'm a Star Trek fan, I'm a Trekkie through and through, and they're all fine. Some more than others, let's just put it that way. Next up, we're gonna go with the Lower Decks, which is one of the newer animated Star Trek shows. Where do I start? Star Trek The Lower Decks was based off of, I'm assuming, the episode from TNG called Lower Decks, where it follows people in the Enterprise that are not of high command. So they're kind of more grunt cadets and stuff like that. And it follows them and what they do. And it's funny to people who like this kind of humor, such as Rick and Morty or Family Guy-esque humor. I don't like that humor at all. I think it's really cringy. But a lot of people really like the show, and apparently it gets better after season 1, where it kind of finds its footing, and that's totally fine. I'm not gonna watch it. I've seen the first season, and that's all I'm ever gonna see. I don't like it at all, so I'm gonna put Lower Decks at a D as well. Next up, we will go with Star Trek the Animated Series, and for this, a lot of people refer to this as the 4th season of TOS, which it honestly really is, just in animated form. They have I believe most of the main cast voice acting their characters. A lot of really, really cool episodes. Again, it's an animated show, so it can do a lot more than, let's say, the original series, which, you know, had a shoestring budget. But I really like it. I'm gonna put it at a C as well. It's not my favorite by any means, and it's kind of goofy, and it's got that 70s sort of, you know, hippie sort of funky vibe. It's cozy. You know what? I'm gonna put it at a B. I do really like it. It's cozy as fuck. All right, so next up we'll jump into Enterprise. Enterprise probably had the shortest of the old. This is still old Trek in my opinion. It's the newest of old Trek, but it's still in that bracket of being old Trek. I don't like it as much. Cool concept. I think that it didn't really get to do what it wanted to do with the series. It ended after, I believe, 4 seasons, and right as it started to get really good. But it's all right. It's kind of boring. The theme song, you know, whether you like it or not, it's to say the least. But I'm going to put it down here at C, right next to Deep Space Nine, though I like Deep Space Nine more than I like Enterprise, okay? Next, we'll do short treks. And short treks were singular episodes in the Star Trek Discovery universe from using the characters in the show, having their own kind of like building character development, I guess you could say. There's also an episode with Rainn Wilson, who plays Harry Mudd, if anyone knows that name from the original series. I don't really like his version of Harry Mudd, but it was fine. Yeah, short treks, they were kind of okay-ish, better. I like them better than the actual series, so I'm going to put short treks at C as well. Next up, we're going to do a Voyager, and I'm just going to say this, I fucking love Voyager. It is the closest to TNG that Star Trek has ever got. Granted, there's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes. I believe the actor who played Chakotay constantly tried to get himself fired because he didn't want to be there, and it really shows. He phones in a lot of his fucking episodes, and I didn't really like his character in general, especially with the whole 7 of 9 thing. It makes me cringe. Anyway, Voyager is definitely going to be at an A. I love Voyager so much. The characters, the premise of them being stuck in the Delta Quadrant, and just the whole series is them trying to make it back home. And with that being said, we're going to move right along to Star Trek Prodigy, which I just watched for the first time the other day. And I have to say, I was scared because this is a Nickelodeon show. And I'm not a big fan of new Nickelodeon. And it's also a kid's show, more or less. I would say that this show, compared to Lower Decks, is more mature in every sense of the word. And I love this show. I couldn't stop watching it. I am so excited for the next episode, which comes out on the 3rd, which is tomorrow. I'm filming this on February 2nd. So by the time you see this, it'll be the new episode for Prodigy, the season finale, I believe. So yeah, great show. Kate Mulgrew reprises her role as, Janeway in a weird way. I'm not going to spoil anything. In a very interesting way. The characters are all likable. The things that they do are very Star Trek, and it's a good introduction to younger people who might not know what Star Trek is. They explain so many different things that only people who have watched this series for a long time would understand. So they explain it in a way that kids can understand it, but it's not dumb. It's really, really smart. And it looks great, and it's voice acted great, and the characters are awesome, and I fucking love it. So I'm putting it at an A. What? Oh. Yeah, I fucking love this show. I am super excited to see where it goes, and it's episodic, so it, one episode connects right to the next one, whereas a lot of these other ones, it's a separate episode. Something different happens in every episode that's not necessarily connected to the one previous to it. So yeah, Star Trek Prodigy, go check it out. It's on Paramount Plus streaming service. I torrented it because I'm not paying for Paramount Plus. But yeah, great show. Next up, the original series. Okay, you guys. So I love the original series. It has its moments where it's very, very hammy and kind of dumb, but that's what makes it so charming. And the fact that the budget for the show was very small, all of the actors in it make it awesome. The ideas behind it and everything. It's Star Trek. It's what Star Trek is. We wouldn't have any of these other things if we didn't have the original series. That being said, it's not my favorite. I'm actually putting this at a B. You can hate me all you want. I love it to death. It's definitely... No, I'm just joking. I'm going to put it at an A. And I think you all know where the Next Generation is going. So, moving on. We're just going to put Star Trek The Next Generation at an S rank. It is literally the best Star Trek has ever been. with a couple asterisks, because the first 2 seasons of this show, especially the first season, are not very good. There's like maybe 2 or 3 episodes that are ballin', and but the show, sadly, I think once Gene Roddenberry passed away, rest in peace, dude was a notorious prick on set and constantly rewriting scripts and stuff like that. So I'm surprised the show even got past season 1 with all the problems that they were having on set. But he was a big reason why the show almost didn't take off. So once he passed away, other people took over and the show found its footing and was just amazing from then on. So Star Trek The Next Generation, if you guys weren't expecting that, I'm sorry. And if you don't agree with me, which you probably do, I think everyone who is a Trekkie thinks, I don't necessarily think they all think that, but I think a lot of the people, like 90% of the Trekkie population, thinks the Next Generation is the best. It is. And we come full circle with Star Trek Picard. This show sucks. It sucks. Yes, I'm putting it at an E. I don't like it at all. It's really hard to verbalize all the things that I dislike about it. I dislike the writing. I dislike character motivations. I dislike characters. It's really depressing watching Patrick Stewart hobble around because he's like a fucking 90-year-old man. They have the whole premise of a character being the key to everything, and I hate that sort of premise. I dislike Star Trek Picard the most. I'm not going to say any more than that because I don't feel I need to defend my decision because it's my opinion. I would love to know what you guys think of Star Trek Picard, or any of these, really. Tell me what your favorite one is down below in the comment section. Anyway, you guys, that is my Star Trek TV show tier list. Fight me in the comments. I will gladly ignore your negative and hurtful feedback of my opinion. And again, if you guys want to see me do a tier list of the movies, go ahead and like this video and subscribe and comment below, all that shit. Anyway, you guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know I'm going to have so much love from all of you for my ranking of sacred TV intellectual properties. I'll see you on the next one. If you're interested in watching more Star Trek content that I've made, go ahead and click one of these videos right now. They're Star Trekkie, for Trekkies, made by a Trekkie. Thanks for watching.